are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New York Jets and the Seattle Seahawks. Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. McCole Hardman to return it from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
Ball again on second down.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on third and 4.
150, hey, you block over here.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to second and 4. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. You got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a first and goal.
Here's Walker. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Again, Walker. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a third and goal.
Defenses always have a goal of holding a runner under 100 yards. Well, he went over 150 last week, won NFC Player of the Week award honors. And guess what? He's got a chance to do it again because of that vision he has. He sees holes that maybe don't exist.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on third down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on third down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. 4th down. Here's Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Jets are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal. Well, Charles, certainly circled that play. We might have to revisit it later. They had 3 in their back pocket. They go for it on 4th and goal and throw the pick.
Well, you know, we're still in the first half. A bold call nonetheless. And I guess the book might have said take the 3, but it looks like they burned the book and just said give me the analytics. And the analytics said go for it. Didn't work out.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Rodgers. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw into the hands of Fan. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
And what a nice example there. The tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. The Seahawks at 14-1 now on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
He lets it fly for Lockett. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 41-yard line. They go play action with Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. Catch is made by Metcalf. Touchdown! DK Metcalf hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And as these guys enter play in Week 17, we know one thing. They are playoff bound, but they want to win that division title. They told us that is a goal that's been posted in their locker room since day one. They've got the chance to control their own destiny.
And there's nothing more powerful than saying that you won the division, because I know from building a team, when I talk with all the GMs and the player personnel directors, they always talk about to get to the playoffs in the NFL, you have to have a team that's constructed to win your division. Beat those teams first. That's your #1 path to getting there, and they can get that done in this game.
Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offense coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's 3rd down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
From the gun, it's Walker. They find some open field here. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Back to Walker on 1st down. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Walker will score. Touchdown, Seattle. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He gets it underneath to Hall. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers. This pass out wide to Hall. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And 3rd and 8 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Catch is made by Hardman. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Rodgers with a keeper. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll look to run with Hall. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Breece Hall, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Jets have got it back to within a score. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
And a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He completes it to Jones. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll run with Hall. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That's their second. They'll be down to 1 remaining here in this first half.
Not a whole lot there on first and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
Second down and goal. Rodgers. He's got it. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Now definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, third and 10. Rodgers now to throw. He's got Wilson, and that's a Jets touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jets have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Zerline good with a PAT. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. 1 second, all that remains. And he's got room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Fields it right around the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll fire one downfield for Fant, and that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on third and medium to pick up the first. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 93 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
They're going right back to Walker, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Out of the gun, Walker with it. So they'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 21-14. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, and now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers. His throw incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Throwing is Rodgers. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Uchenna Nwosu, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
On third down, here's Walker. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Trailing here in the second half, went for the aggressive play, got a little too aggressive.
You've got to know when to pull up, or if you're going to go for it, how to take your body across a punter's body and not into him. Not a good play at all.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this one is incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
To throw again on second down. Wilson. This one goes underneath to Walker. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers eluding the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Uchenna Nwosu able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. On second down, a run with Hall. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a third and long situation coming up. Well, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. That one to the sideline, and a nice catch there. He stays in bounds, but a penalty marker is down as well. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball, and if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it winds us down to the end of the third quarter. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Hall again. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet first down. On play action, now Rodgers. On the move to his left. Touchdown, Jets. Mecole Hardman, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this game here on the fourth. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Wilson. This is the tight end fan. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Up the middle, here's Walker. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Straight ahead, Walker. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there. Now to the ground. Here's Walker. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now Wilson. He's got his tight end fan. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 123 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Walker. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
This is caught. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Wilson on the keeper. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Seahawks answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the fourth.
Myers connects on the PAT. They will take a 7-point lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Hardman going to bring it out of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch, and it's also tough to keep that up when you just watch your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive to less into double-digit snaps. You need a score here, not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent. And that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. To throw is Rodgers. Man open, here is Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That third down conversion good for 23. Now Rodgers. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
On a huge mistake late, it's intercepted. Picked up by Kevin Farley. And the Seahawks have just about sewn up this football game. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding what receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. And Walker once more. And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. So the victory here for Seattle. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot. But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Seahawks,
they continue their winning ways as they run their mark to 15-1 on the year.
We put the bang and bang and produce. You got no chance of pain. Your tails when you're flipping the quarter. We ain't slowing down, we crashing through the border.